Hello, welcome to my podcast. My name is Mang'eni. Today I just wanted to say something about the Utumishi girls ARSON attack. This issue of fire incidences and strikes in school is not a very new thing. It is actually very common in our high schools. I can even say it's the order of the day in high schools. Unfortunately, some of these strikes setting ablaze dormitories or laboratories or stores or administration blocks. And it reminds me, even when I was in high school, first term, first week, I think going to the second week, I remember we also did a strike in our school. I was very naive. I was not even really aware. I had a feeling like the way students are talking, especially the Form 4s, Form 3s, there was something mischievous that's going to happen because there are some rumors about discomfort. People don't like this, or they don't like some of the things and conditions in school. One morning, we wake up for morning preps, 4:30, and people wake up, you wash your face and you run to class. Little did I know, when I stepped out of the dormitory, I realized people were running helter-skelter, running in different directions, which was not very normal, because normally people run towards the classroom, from the dormitory to the classroom. But I started hearing shouting, chanting. Then it clicked in my mind. I quickly connected the dots with how the atmosphere was and the rumors and murmuring that was going around among students. Immediately I saw our central store, the central store, food store. I remember it was, it's first week or maybe second week. All the shopping for the cereals, the food we are supposed to eat for the first time had just come in and placed in the central store. The central store was also adjacent. It was together with our main school laboratory. They were just adjacent. I quickly saw a big fire blazing in the central store and the laboratory. Then, of course, with all the chants and singing. But to cut that long story short, of course, the police were called, but it was too late. And when the police came and they started, I think they came with rungus and rubber bullets. Majority of the students, we ran, jumped over the fence and ran and disappeared in the villages, because the policemen had come and they were shooting the rubber bullets and beating people with those rungus, the sticks they have. But I think there's one student, there's different, in that panic, people react differently. And I think there's a student, I remember, I think he was a class prefect of maybe Form 3 there. Unfortunately, he was beaten with the rubber bullet. They shot him with the rubber bullet, and I think it hit the back of his head. And it was bad. But the effect was not felt that right away. He started developing complications, and I hear actually 2 years later, unfortunately, he passed on. The reasons that made us to demonstrate, there are reasons that were well known, even by the teachers and the whole administration. Scarcity of water, we were struggling, we can't take showers regularly, even drinking water is a problem, the taps are always dry, the reservoirs are always dry. But after the strike, the school administration was telling us that, there's no money, our budget, we can't afford to drill a big borehole to supply water to all the students. But you know what? After we did the strike, 2-3 weeks after coming back, they brought one of these companies that drill boreholes, and they dug a big borehole, and they created taps everywhere, and there was water overflowing everywhere. Another reason was our meals. We used to eat ugali and cabbage every supper, Monday to Sunday. When we say they changed the food program, money is not there. We don't have, our budget can't manage that. But guess what? They changed our menu, and without changing our school fees. And then another thing was about the entertainment, the screens. We used to have two small TVs. We had two small televisions for entertainment, one for showing football, another for movies. They went and bought big screens televisions. They bought new sound system, the woofers. And there was a lot of changes. But also that strike was known by teachers, and there are teachers who are supported it. Most of these strikes in all these high schools, there are teachers who are pro that strike. There are teachers who collaborate with children, with the students, and even encourage them to go ahead. For us, mostly the teachers were dissatisfied with the school principal. I'm not very sure the reasons, but two reasons I guess. One, the principal was not from the local community, yet most teachers were from the local community. But the other thing, the teachers were not happy with the food they were being given for lunch. I think the school administration used to take the food that has been made for students, maybe add a few onions, tomatoes, and then if it's githeri, add tomatoes a bit and a bit of oil. That is what teachers used to eat, but they didn't like it. The second term, the principal was changed, and the deputy was promoted to be the principal. Now that deputy was from the local community. So finally teachers got what they wanted, a person from the local community. And then guess what? The menu of teachers changed completely to now eating 5-star like meals every lunch. They used to eat chicken, they used to chapatis, meat, all those nice things. So teachers also won, students won. But some of these things, I always wonder, why is it that they cannot be done before the strike? The principal started to have was it monthly meetings? I don't remember well, but like monthly meetings for us, between us, and we'll discuss things. We'll tell him what we don't like, where we are uncomfortable. We'll tell him our reasons. He also tells us the position as the administration and why some things may be difficult to implement and those kind of things. But now the problem remains. Why is it that leadership in our schools, in our high schools, leadership even in our nation, Kenya, remember we had the finance bill, and Kenyans said, listen, this thing is just bad, we withdraw it. But the government insisted. People had to demonstrate. Many young people lost their lives because of being shot down, abducted and shot by policemen. It had to take an ugly turn for the president to actually accept and say, listen, I'm withdrawing this bill. So I think it's just a human nature. Many people, especially those in authority, they are not very sensitive to the needs of the people. And until the people wake up in uproar, they want to fight back, that's when they soften and they address people's issues. So even with the Utumishi Academy girls thing, the ARSON attack, maybe some of the things, especially the principal would have engaged the students and explained to them the position of the school and the students. If it is an interaction, a good interaction where the principal and the students sit together, maybe in a hall, and talk about it, maybe, just maybe, this would have been avoided. So it's a challenge to all the principals, all the board of management, to listen more to students. Some of these things can be avoided. So let's not be very strict, and also let the students and especially the principal interact more oftenly, have open sessions or open meetings where they can meet and discuss, and so that they are all on the same page, instead of just giving blunt instructions and thinking things will flow. So that is my experience. Please check also my next episode now on the analysis specifically of the Utumishi Academy case in my next video. Thank you.